Boom, coming in hot, Chinchy. How we doing, brother?
I'm not going to say that we told you so here on the mayor's office. And we don't normally toot our own horns here on the mayor's office. But we have been spending 3 days saying, can you imagine? Just imagine, ninth inning, game on a line, Trout-Ohtani. Well, here's where we failed. We didn't say it was going to go 3-2 in the count, and he was going to break him off a slide piece after throwing fastballs as hard as he could right down the middle.
Dude, it was incredible. That's the only thing we missed, Chinch, was the 3-2 count, brother. I mean, dude, It was incredible. For Ohtani to come out, close the game, the baseball gods were there, dude. It couldn't have been scripted any better. This is incredible. I mean, Major League Baseball has to be so excited what the WBC was, how great it was for all the countries, but for Shohei to face Trout, to end it, man, that was incredible. And the drama, the power on power. Ohtani he gave Trout 2 pitches to hit. Now, regardless, they were at 100 miles an hour, but he did give him 2 pitches to hit that he fouled off. And then that 3-2 slider, bro, I went back and looked at it like 10 times. That thing was filthy, dude. It was on the same plane as a heater. It came in and it just darted out of the zone last second. It was almost an unhittable pitch. And that's why the tough thing with baseball is, man, when you get a pitch to hit, you got to do it. But what a WBC, what an ending. It couldn't have been scripted any better. They could not script that ending any better than what happened Shohei versus Trout.
Right. You were just on with a big fan of the mayor's office today, Pat McAfee, who, by the way, most of the country is a big fan of his, as are we. And
yeah.
Yeah, and he even mentioned to you, he admitted, he goes, he's admittedly not the biggest baseball fan. He's a huge Sean Casey fan. So whenever he does a baseball segment, it's like, call Casey. We got to get Casey on. There's a baseball story. Yeah. And you went on, and he admitted he doesn't love baseball. He loved it. He loved baseball. And I think there are a lot of average baseball fans out there, or maybe casual fans, or people who weren't really into that much baseball. You mentioned it yesterday. Your cousin's not a huge fan. Are you watching this WBC? It's crazy. Great job all around.
Yeah, I think dude, you said it best. If Pat McAfee's sitting down for 9 innings of baseball, you know it's interesting. I mean, I think that's the big thing about entertainment. When you sit down and watch something, and you know it's entertaining like that. You know what I mean? Like, hang on, Sorry, pick it up right there, bro. My bad. My alarm went off my phone and it's kept falling off the flagpole. All right. No, I was saying when things are entertaining like that, dude, it doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. The world is watching. I think that was the big thing about the WBC. The world was watching, bro. And guys, people that weren't fans, that aren't big baseball fans, it was must-see TV. I don't care who you are. It was must-see TV. It's almost like the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. People aren't necessarily NFL fans, but you're going to watch the Super Bowl because it's entertainment value. There's just so many things that go along with it. And I just felt like baseball nailed this WBC, man. They nailed it, and it was on the world stage, and there was electricity, and incredible.
Yeah, I was actually trying to look for the ratings before we came on. I've been reading and trying to scoop them out. And I saw a lot of people saying, like, well, don't think these ratings are going to be as big as they are, because it was like 7 a.m. in Japan when that game started. Baloney! That entire country set their alarms. Well, first of all, in Japan, they get all their workouts in. They get probably like 4 hours of work done before 7 a.m. Where we don't. That's probably like their mid-afternoon lunch break, and they probably would. And in commercial breaks, they were banging out work too in between, and killing it. But I guarantee that entire country was watching that game at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you.
What do you got? You got people? You got fans over there?
Hang on.
What do we got? Case is out in the middle of the street here.
The police just came over.
Why? Because you were filming? Oh, they thought you're...
Because I'm on a flagpole. I'm on a flagpole at the hospital doing the show, and they just called the police.
On you?
Yeah.
What do you mean called the police? Or they just told the guy, like, what is this guy doing?
They're like, why is this guy on a flagpole yelling? I'm in the middle of I'm in the courtyard of a hospital.
I see it.
Look at this.
Wait, did the guy go?
The entrance.
Wait,
there's the entrance.
I see.
There's the entrance. Yeah, the cop just came over. He's like, "Sir, is everything okay over here?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just doing a podcast real quick."
Did he
Have you ever heard
recognize
the mayor's office? I'm like, "Sir, have you ever heard of the mayor?" No, he didn't recognize me.
What?
I was like, have you ever heard of the Mayor's Office podcast? It should be one of your favorite listens every day. Obviously, they don't know who we are. And basically, they just tried to arrest me for doing the Mayor's Office podcast in the middle of McGee Hospital down here in Oakland, PA.
Oh, my God. We should keep it tight then. All right. I don't even know what else to say. All right. Here. This is a question. As great as it was, there are people still saying, no, you still got to do this after the season or do it in December. I'll tell you from a production standpoint, you're not doing the WBC during football season. End of story. Done deal. Not happening. However, I think the timing is fine for them to do it when they did it. Don't you? Now you're going back to camp and you're in a good spot. You're ripping. You're ready to play.
I like the timing. I mean, when else would they do it? I was thinking about would they do it at the would they do it at the All-Star break and take 10 days?
Like what hockey, what NHL used to do that with the Olympics, or they still do with the Olympics. I'm not a huge hockey.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that's another thing, because I think you almost get a better product. Even though these guys were incredible, you almost get a better product if you're doing that because, these guys are ready to go. These guys have been playing for 3 months, 3.5 months. That's a different product for me than then you're at spring training. These guys are just kind of trying to get ready, but they all played well. I think listen, I think if it's not broke, don't fix it. This looks like this thing is gaining steam and really gaining some momentum now, the WBC, and it's the place to be, man.
Yeah, and Smoltz made a phenomenal point. He goes, do you know how beat up you are at the end of the season? Because people are comparing like, wow, this is bigger energy than during the playoffs. It's not bigger energy. During the playoffs, you have played 160 games already. So, by then your thumb is killing you for the last 2 months or X and Y or whatever. To do it after the season, like you're not going to get the same value out of it that you're getting now. It's done. Don't change anything. Don't change a thing.
Dude, after the season, I agree, dude. Guys want to go home. It's too much. See, the good thing about spring training is when you first get to spring training, you're raring to go. You're like, oh, I can't wait for spring training. And that's the same thing with these guys at the WBC. It's like, oh, man, spring training and now the WBC, like you guys get a chance to play meaningful games in March. Like, tell you the truth, as a player, those spring training games get so old, dude, because like you get a couple knocks. You're like, these don't even count. And you're like, I'm ready to go. But, you're ready to go 3 weeks in. You still got 3 weeks left. If you're a player that can play in the WBC, you're fired up. And I bet you these guys, too, also were getting more at bats, getting ready before they even got to camp. Like you could find guys in the area where you can go, hey man, can I get a couple live ABs off here or whatever? So I'm sure some of those guys were more prepared coming into this spring training than ever.
I agree. I would say if there is a hair difference between Team USA and Team Japan, which it was a hair, it was one pitch difference. It was one pitch, one run difference. It is, do you think the next time around we'll see more aces from the United States participating? Because that was kind of the knock on this USA team. They had the best lineup, I believe. I mean, Japan was a close second. I mean, Mexico, I don't want to knock any of these other teams. There's some great lineups. But the U.S. pitching, it was not the, top five. It wasn't Betts, Trout. It wasn't your 1-2 Betts, Trout in your lineup. You didn't have your ace and number 2. You didn't have DeGrom and, take your pick. Scherzer.
Verlander, Dylan Cease, some of the guys. Yeah, DeGrom, like some of the big dogs.
Right.
You're right. I think that was one of the big things was the pitching could have been better. But I think those guys did do a great job. But, they would even, that team would even say, man, it'd be nice to see some superstar pitchers there too.
Yeah, I agree.
Next time.
All right. My last point on this as we close this out, obviously props to the players for doing it. Obviously for every country, every player that played in it, played their hearts out. It was amazing. Let's talk Mark DeRosa. Proved, we already knew he should be a major league manager. I believe he proved he should be a major league manager, even more so. I think first of all, to see your manager jumping up and down and slapping the fence when Turner's hitting homers. Obviously that's not sustainable every single game for 162 games. There's a whole other monster that's involved, but he proved he can handle a pitching staff. And in addition, it's not easy. When guys aren't warming up in a pen, it's because you're not allowed to get guys up. For a lot of people who are saying, oh, DeRo, can you manage a pen run? No. Do not forget, there are rules in place to put safety for your pitchers, where you can't get a guy up, bring him down, get him up, bring him down again. You'll get sued by the Chicago White Sox if you do that to their middle relievers. So I would argue it was almost more difficult for him to manage that bullpen, and he still got them within one pitch of tying the final game. So I say Mark DeRosa, go get him as a manager. Anybody.
Dude, I agree. But DeRo is built to be a manager, dude. It's just whether he wants to do it or not. I mean, it's a grind of a life. I mean, you know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. There's no doubt he's a manager, and he did such a great job. I think, DeRo, I was with him at MLB Central, when he first got offered that job and took it. Dude, he's been stressing out about, those games since for the last 6 months, 7 months, dude. That's all he's thought about. I'm sure he's had many a sleepless night because he cares so much. He's one of the hardest workers out there. He's such a knowledgeable guy, one of the smartest guys I've ever been around baseball-wise, too. So DeRo will be a manager at some point when he wants to be. But for now, he did an incredible job with the WBC. All those guys, man, seeing Michael Young and Brian McCann and seeing Junior and Luke Collier and Jerry Manuel. There's some really good baseball people in that dugout.
Yeah. Hey, I got one more shout out, and they mentioned this last night. I thought it was cool. I believe it was the Pittsburgh Pirates guy.
Kevin Roach. Kevin Roach,
was
matter of fact,
the replay guy?
As a matter of fact, Roachy asked me back a few months ago to put him in touch with DeRo. Because he's the Pirates guy. Yeah, man. And
undefeated. Undefeated in reviews for the entire season.
Kevin Roach, one of the best video guys out there, man. The Pirates are sitting on a gold mine. They probably don't even know it. Maybe now, they will.
Dude, let's get him on. Let's get him on next week. That's a good guy. Yeah, we got to get him on.
Let's do it. Let's get Roach on next week. All right, reach out to him.
Yeah, we got to do that. I want to know, because my point, it popped into my head because I was really cool seeing one of DeRo's best friends, Brian McCann, walk over and pick up the phone last night, look over at DeRo and do the headset thing. DeRo does it. Yeah, and then they gave a shout out to your buddy. Oh, next week we got to have him on, talk about replay and how
let's do it, man. Let's do it. Remind me. I'll send Roachy a text.
All right, sounds good, man. All right, you get back out of here. You got to get back in. Tell Sarah we love her. Get after her.
I will do. There. Yeah, third chemo session today, bro. Let's go get it. And,
let's go get it.
We're doing it, and to your dad too. I know your dad's grinding right now.
Yeah, thanks.
The mayor's office is grinding on some fronts, but we got this. Really we got this, brother.
Yeah, man.
All right,
love you, buddy.
All right, prayers to your pops, bro. Love you, man. And everyone out there, have a great day today. We'll see you tomorrow. See you, buddy.
See you.